guys, welcome back to Educating Shani. Okay, so as you can tell from the title of this video, my bird Barry passed away, sadly, and this is going to be, I'm going to tell you how it happened, I'm going to show you a little bit of the aftermath, and I'm going to show you us burying him and saying goodbye, and then at the very end of the video, I'm going to share something really special, a really special gift that was given to me the night before Barry died, and nobody knew he was gonna die, but this gift was given to me just the night before, and it just is another, just stay tuned. It's beautiful and amazing, and this gift that I was given is my newest prized possession. My biggest prized possession, like physical possession, is the mirror that Danny made for me. Okay, so he made me this mirror for Christmas, and he made this frame all by himself. He made it out of foam. He does that for his job. He makes props for movies out of foam. So he carved this out of foam and then he painted it to be gold. And when he gave it to me for Christmas, he said that he wanted me to see myself the way that he sees me. So he put everything on this frame that he thinks that I am. So we've got my big heart of gold, which he always tells me. We've got my birdies there, which I love. My spirit family in front of my favorite flower, which is sunflowers. Then we've got my creative things where I make people cards and make videos and stuff. He thinks I'm beautiful. He thinks I'm passionate, and he thinks I'm really sweet. So yeah, so that's my husband. Maybe you can just see why I love this man so much. He's such a sweetheart. So that mirror has always been like, if the house is on fire, that's the first thing I'm grabbing, besides obviously Danny and my birds. So anyway, so until now, that's been my most prized possession, and now I have a new prized possession. So please stay tuned because it's very special and I really want to share it with you guys, and it's amazing. So all right, let's get into this. Okay, so about a week after I had my heart attack, Barry had a heart attack and died. So I was lying in bed, and everything about this whole story is so ironic. The heart attack, the gift that I was given the night before, just everything was so ironic. So I was lying in bed, and the birds were kind of chasing each other around the cage, is what it seemed like to me. They do that a lot. They'll go and they'll fly and they'll chase each other around. They've got a really big cage, lots of space. But Barry was acting like a little bit more fluttery, I guess, than usual. And I saw him go to the bottom of the cage, which was kind of odd. And then I saw him trying to fly up to the top of the cage. And when he got to the top of the cage, he was kind of like slumped over. And I was like, what is going on? And I just had a feeling to get up and go over there. And I'm so glad I did, because there wasn't much time. So I run over to his cage, and by the time I got there, he had flown to the front of the cage and like grabbed onto the front of the cage with his claws. And I could see his chest against the front of the cage, and his heart was literally doing this. His chest literally looked like this. And the reason I'm doing a heart shape right now is because that's the shape it was in. I'm not even kidding you. It looked like a cartoon. Like those cartoons that you see of cartoons having a heart attack when the heart like pumps in and out of their chest. That's what it looked like. It was weird. And I was like, what the heck? And the reason it did look like that, I want to explain really quickly, is that Barry was blue, and he had some white feathers on his belly, on his chest. And I guess those feathers, when the heart pushed the chest out, created the feathers to make like a heart shape, like a white heart shape, right on his blue chest. And it was so bizarre and so beautiful and so sad, and it just was everything. So anyway, I knew something was wrong, obviously, so I reached in, I grabbed him, he collapsed in my hand immediately. He started seizing, which means I knew that meant I had about 20 seconds left with him, because every single one of my birds have died in my hands, and the last thing they do is they seize, their body starts to get stiff, and they start doing this, and then they die. And it happens very quickly, and parakeets don't give you warning unless there's something like visibly wrong. Like if they're sick inside or having a heart attack or whatever, they don't warn you. They don't warn you. You have no warning at all. You just have to pray that you're there to be there with them. And I thank the Lord above have been there every single time one of my birds died. All of my birds have died in my hand. And so I'm grateful that I got up out of bed when I did and got over there. So I grabbed him. I went and grabbed my phone. I'm panicking. I called Danny. I said, Barry's dying. Barry's dying. and then he was gone about 5 seconds after Danny picked up. And I stayed on FaceTime with Danny, obviously, and just cried. And I think that, you know, it was hard because, I mean, you know, I can't have my own children, and I'm allergic to cats, and I'm allergic to dogs, and we can't have pets at this house anyway. And so birds are kind of, or not like those, but like birds are okay. And birds have been in my life for probably 15 years now, and I love them. They're my little feather babies, and I love them so much. And every time one of them passes, it's really hard and it's really sad. But Barry was really sweet. Barry was fiercely protective of everybody around him, which was Kiwi and myself, pretty much. Danny too. But like, if I was crying, Barry would just squawk as loud as he could and be like, "What is going on, Mom? Are you okay?" And come to the front of the cage and be like, "Me, me, 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 me." And like, if Barry, or he would constantly follow Kiwi around the cage and chase Kiwi everywhere, and Kiwi hated it. It was really annoying to him, but Barry just was so protective that he would follow him everywhere and just make sure that he was doing okay. And he just was the sweetest little thing. And when I did get to hold him, which was rare, he wasn't a very snuggly bird, but when I did get to hold him once in a blue moon, he would be a little bit snuggly, and it was really sweet. And I love him and I miss him, and I know I'll see him again, and I know that he's with all my other birds that have passed on. So I'm about to show you the footage of us burying Barry, where we bury Barry at my mom's house. As a lot of you know, every time my bird dies, I bury them at my mom's house. It's my safe zone. It's my safe place. Like, my mom is my safety, besides Danny, obviously. But like, Danny and I have moved so many times in our marriage that I don't want to, like, you know, I know that my mom is going to be where she's going to be. She's only moved like once in the past 2 decades or something like that. I don't know. So like, we had 2 birds at her old house actually, and I dug one of them up, Buddy, who was my favorite bird. We dug him up and moved him to my mom's new house. The other one we left there because he had been buried years and years before that, and he was very buried very deeply, and like a whole bunch of stuff had grown on top of where he was buried. And so we didn't want to, since they were selling the house, we didn't want to dig up that whatever had grown right there. So that's why we dug up just Buddy and moved him down to my mom's house. So anyway, so that's where we went to bury. So Buddy is buried there, so is Coco, so is Lemon, and now Barry. My mom filmed a lot of it, so I'm going to show you that footage right now of us burying him and saying goodbye. I don't know if I'll ever post this, but in case I do, we're here today to bury Barry. Anyway, I made him this box. The lid is over there. It's a really pretty lid. I'll show you in a minute, I guess. We put some blueberries in here. Now, if you don't want to see a dead bird, this is your chance to look away. So, but here he is. So I'm sure I'll explain this again later, but he had a heart attack, and you can see that his little chest got stuck out. So when it was happening, it literally was like beating in and out of his chest. But he passed pretty quickly, so he didn't have to suffer too long. And we're gonna bury Barry with his little blueberries. And we're here at my mom's, where we buried Lemon and Buddy and Coco and now Barry. So my mom is kind enough to let us keep our birds here so I can come visit them whenever I'm here. Danny's over there digging a hole for the box. This is a bigger box than we usually do, so sorry, baby. Sorry. To make him work even harder.
Aww.
He's too much. Can you see him? Baby, don't you cry. Gonna make a pie. Gonna make a pie with a heart in the middle. Baby, don't be blue. Gonna make for you. Gonna make a pie with a heart in the middle. Gonna be apart from heaven above. Gonna be filled with blueberry love. Baby, don't you cry.
You don't have to do anything.
Right next to Lemon, okay? He and Lemon were very close, so we're gonna bury him right next to Lemon. Lemon passed away because she got pregnant by this one.
Oh yeah.
And there were horrible complications. So at least he gets to go be with his baby mama and baby in heaven, you know? So
Someone's singing for Barry.
what?
Someone is singing for Barry, the bird. Now he stopped.
So obviously this whole thing was really traumatic, the way that it happened. Watching my feather baby having a heart attack a week after me having one and knowing what it felt like and just watching him go through it was just, it was rough, and it took me a while to recover from it. Like, it was really traumatizing and really hard. But again, like I said, I'm doing a lot better now. But I do want to share a story with you. My sister gave me an extremely special gift that is now my newest prized possession, along with the mirror that I told you about. She gave me a very special gift the night before Barry died, ironically. Before I show you what this gift is, I need to explain it. And then I also have a video that my mom got footage of Michelle giving me this gift. You guys know that I can't have children, right? So, but I've always wanted children. I always knew I was gonna be a mom and wanted to be a mom. That's what I wanted. I never wanted to go to college. I wanted to have babies early, and I wanted to be a young mom, and so that I could raise them and be with them as long as I can, and da-da-da. Like, I was all for that, but I just couldn't do it. And on our wedding day, I think I've told this story maybe before online, I'm not sure, but it was, we were waiting to get married in the temple, the LDS temple, the Manti temple. We were waiting in a room, and it was before the ceremony, and just Danny and I were in that room. And I remember feeling our kids with us. And I was like, Danny, we have 3 little kids, and I feel them here with us. He's like, really? What are they like? I'm like, I don't know. They're just here, and they're sweet, and they love us, and they're here with us. And I guess we're gonna have 3 kids, and that's amazing. And he's like, that's so cool. And so then we got married, and then after the ceremony was over, our family was like coming up to us and hugging us and congratulating us and da-da-da. And my sister Michelle comes up to me. She gives me a hug. She had no idea about that had happened. She gave me a hug, and she said, I feel your 3 children with you here. I was like, I still get chills every time I tell this story. I was like, are you serious? And I just sobbed, and I told her, and she cried too, and it just was amazing. So anyway, so that's the first thing you need to know. I know that I have a little girl, I know that I have a little boy, and I don't know what the third one is. So you just need to know that, okay? And then also, you guys know that I have had 6 birds. So the night before Barry died, I was at my mom's house for something, and Michelle was up here visiting, and Michelle is amazing. Some of you might remember her, like we've done videos together in the past. She's super funny. She's super wonderful and beautiful and all the things. I just love her. I look up to her so much, and she was kind of like my second mom growing up, and she just was always there for me and always has still been there for me through everything hard that I've gone through, and you guys have seen her a lot here and there. So Michelle's amazing, and I love her, and she's always just been very sensitive to me and very like empathetic, and like felt whatever I was going through, and she just has always been there for me. So she gave me this painting. She had my niece paint this painting, and here it is. As you can see, there's the temple behind us. That's the temple we were married in. And then you can see the gates as if it's like the gates to heaven type thing. And then you can see that my 6 birds are sitting on the gate, which is amazing. And then you can see obviously me and Danny and our 3 children. And you can see that there's the little girl and the little boy and the 3rd one that we're not sure what it was. And they knew that, and so they painted it that way. And it was actually my niece, Lindsay, Michelle's daughter, that painted it. And she's an artist. She's an amazing artist. I think she's 20 years old now. She's amazing at so many different kind of art. Like, she is just incredibly talented. And I am so proud of her, and it just was the most beautiful thing ever. So I wanted to show you the footage of me receiving this gift, and because my mom filmed it, Michelle told my mom to film it. So I didn't know this was happening. Apparently Danny knew, because Lindsay had called Danny to be like, how many birds did you have, and what did they look like, and all that kind of stuff. So like Danny knew something was coming, but he didn't know exactly what it was going to be. Anyway, so we all gathered in my mom's room, and here is the footage of them giving me this special gift. A really strong impression last summer when we were talking about something, I can't remember what, too. You know, we've talked about your kids and stuff like that, and just how close they are and whatnot, but that I wanted to give you something that you could just look at. And so I asked Linz, because she's so talented at painting, to do kind of the image that I had in my head. So I just hope it brings you comfort, because the picture is kind of what I see when I see you. So, and she did an awesome job.
Yes.
It's nothing too crazy.
When did you do that?
When?
Yeah. This week?
No, we have all your little bits there too. Dang. So cute, huh? She did such a good job.
You did a banger job. That's awesome. Good job.
This girl's position. This is beautiful. Yeah, we said to her, and then you put it over. No, she would have lost it. Happy late birthday from last October. Just the sweetest thing ever, and Lindsay is the sweetest human on planet Earth, my niece Lindsay. She's a lot like Michelle. She's a lot like her mom. She's a very, her presence is just, you just feel calm when she's around. You feel love, you feel purity and pure kindness and pure heart, and just, she is just the sweetest human. And she did such a good job on this painting. It was Michelle's idea, but she had Lindsay paint it for her. And it means the world to me. So thank you again, Lindsay and Michelle, if you're watching. Seriously, the most special gift I've ever received, other than the mirror that Danny gave me. Like, this is, and I've got it in my front walkway now. So I see it every single time I go up and down the stairs, which is multiple times a day. It's always there for me to look at. And it's just crazy that it was given to me the night before my bird passed away. It just was, I don't know. And Michelle even said to me, like, she was telling me, before she gave it to me, she said, I have something for you, so come to mom's house, you know? And while she was telling me that, she was like, yeah, I was actually gonna give this to you a couple of years ago for your birthday, but it didn't feel right yet. And for some reason it feels right to give it to you right now. And so she did, and then Barry died the next day. I'm doing a lot better now, and so is Danny, and so is Kiwi. It was really hard for Kiwi at first, obviously, the first and second and third night. The first night was the worst, obviously, but the first 3 nights he was freaking out every time it was, especially at bedtime. When it was bedtime, when I would turn off all the lights and put his blanket over the cage and stuff, he would freak out and just like be flying like as fast as he could to corner, bottom to top, side to side, all over the cage, just freaking out, looking for Barry and not being able to find him. It just was the saddest thing. And he did that for the first 3 nights. And then on the 4th night, he did really well. And he seemed to have let it go, honestly. Like he seemed to have maybe not forgotten completely, but just like not freak out anymore. And that's when I decided to start like working with him more and training him a little bit better, because I never really got the chance to train him. It's really hard to train 2 birds at once, so you got to do it when there's only one of them. And so I decided to train him before we go get him another partner. So that's what I've been doing since then. And he and I have gotten really close, and he's my little buddy, and I love Kiwi so much, and he's the sweetest little thing ever, and I'm sure that we'll get him a friend very soon. Oh, Danny's home. Hi. Can I say anything about Barry?
He was so sweet.
He was sweet.
He was definitely more your bird than mine.
Yeah, he didn't know.
But I mean, both the birds are your birds and my birds. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so there you go.
Sad.
There's the stories. Thank you again, Michelle and Lindsay, for that beautiful painting. And thank you everyone for the sweet messages of support on Instagram and Facebook and everything. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon for another video. And remember forever and always that you're beautiful, you're worth it, and I am too. Oh, sorry. And remember
No,
forever
you're
and
fine.
always.
This is your video.
I forgot
I'm
that
just
you're here though.
I'm just here.
Yeah, but when you're here, you like to do it.
I was ready to, but
Okay.
I don't. It's not like I'm required to. I don't. Maybe this is your thing.
Okay, start over.
Copy.
And remember forever and always that you're beautiful,
You're worth it.
and I am too.
You don't know, but we've done this 3 times now.
Wow, someone's tired.
It's really hot out today, okay? And I was out in it most of it. That's why I.
You're a trooper, huh?
Yeah.
All right, we love you. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.